Today I'm trying to do a quick orientation to how the virtual learning will work. So if we move over here, I'm using my Paul's 295 class as an example. Here you will see on Moodle that I've created a new module here at the top that says important spring break updates, post-spring break updates and changes start here. If you haven't already, you can download the updated syllabus that includes the modifications. I'll go through the other things in a second. So if we look over here at this new syllabus, I'm asking you to please read it carefully when you get a chance to, when you're in the right headspace to do so, because there are some significant changes, mostly that we won't be meeting in person anymore. So how this is going to basically work is I will post on the day of lecture of our normal class meetings a short 20-25 minute lecture, about half of the normal class time, that would go over the main portion of the material. That lecture will be posted down on in the particular module for that day. So if we look at Monday, March 23rd, you can see that there is a lecture here. You can just click on the link and it should take you to YouTube. After you have looked at the lecture, you will also see on the virtual modified syllabus that there is, in lieu of having an actual in-person conversation, discussion about the material, that there will be discussion posts. On Mondays, students with odd ID numbers will post a 200-word response based on the reading and lecture. By midnight that night, students with even number ID numbers at some point the next day will post 100-word replies. And then on Wednesday it flips. So if we look back up here, there is, in this important post-spring break update module, a post-lecture discussion forum where I've already put where you will find different discussion topics. For example, the Class 20 discussion thread for March 23rd, March 24th has the question, which of these principles of responsibility do you find the most ethically, morally justifiable, why, etc., and a reminder over who is writing. You can then simply hit reply. So if we look at this fake test question here, this is a test question. You can see, oh, I've replied to that test question, and then you can reply to that specific post. If more than one people are able to reply to one person's particular post, as you see here. I will also be on the days during our normal class time period, for at least the first 15-20 minutes of that class time, host virtual discussion sections where I will answer questions about the material. I will be able to talk about any of the material in more detail, any questions from the reading, go over kind of in more detail anything that you all want to talk about, and that will be hosted through bluejeans. Now, I've included the link here, so let's just go ahead and click on it. Now you will, in order to use bluejeans, depending on which type of software you have, need to launch an app. I'm already in this discussion, and there will be a video chat here, and I've set it so that it will mute and not include you when you enter, so that it's not just like a whole complete cacophony of people, but then I will be able to unmute you. There's a chat function where if you have particular questions, you can say, I have a question, and then I'll be able to unmute you, and you will be able to, I can unmute you specifically, and you will be able to ask your question, or if we want to have more freewheeling discussion, we can do it that way. You don't need to use the webcam function if you don't want to, or not comfortable doing that. That's totally fine with me. You can also just kind of lurk in the chat. Now, these discussions, Now, these, as I say, are completely optional discussion sections. These, because I know that people are going to be different time zones, have different demands on their time, going to have different access to technology. These are going to be entirely optional, but I will, assuming that my internet works well, record these and upload them to Moodle as well, and so you'll be able to kind of participate in the discussion post facto. I'll also hold office hours over bluejeans in the same way. You can just click that link. I'm also more than happy to answer any questions you have over email. I've also made changes to the assessments. I'm not going to go through these in detail because they might be different for different classes, but please look over them. In pretty much every case, I've changed both the kind of intensity, so papers are a little bit shorter, and I've also rearranged the weighting assignments in order to accommodate the missing 1 week, the changes in kind of format to kind of reassess the weighting. Some things are completely canceled. And then in this syllabus here, you have a modified course schedule that will show you kind of how things have changed. I've tried to keep as much continuity with the original syllabus as possible, but there are just some topics we're not going to cover at all. Some topics are going to be combined with other topics, and they're going to be covered in less detail than we'd like in a normal, but we're all here trying to do the best we can. So that's there. This. So if we look back on Moodle, on the sample page for the Pulse 295 class, if your class has pre-class discussion posts, those are also noted here in that in the daily modules here, so you can kind of upload your pre-class discussion post. From Pulse 295 and Pulse 150, I have lowered the requirements of the number of pre-class discussion posts that you have to do to 3. Similarly, in Pulse 101, I've changed the number of current events posts that you have to do to only 2. That means if you've already completed the 2 current event posts or 3 pre-class discussion posts, you're done. You don't have to do any more of those posts. Otherwise those will function in the exact same way. Finally, the other thing that I've also done is I have tried to create a YouTube channel. I will upload the mini lectures here to YouTube. I've created different playlists. Most of them are not populated, right? Because I'm still in the process of recording these lectures. But you can bookmark this page, and I will upload things here. I don't know how well Moodle's functionality is if you're on mobile. If you wanted to, watch me talk about political theory and political science on your phone for some reason. So those will be available here. If you go ahead and bookmark that link, I will also upload the discussion conversations up to YouTube as well, up to here as well. And so you'll be able to have access to this without having to download large video files. If for any reason you're having trouble accessing something, please let me know. I will either create a Dropbox repository, or I will kind of just extract the audio so that you can just listen to the audio and click through the slides yourself, or I'll find something to make sure that the material is accessible to you in some way. That should be most of everything. If you have questions, please let me know over email. Hopefully this gives you a bit of a sense of how things will work. Obviously, things are changing rapidly, so sometimes some of these things might just not work for everyone. Please don't hesitate to let me know if something's not working. We can make changes on the fly to make sure that everyone can access the material as effectively as possible. Again, thanks for tuning in, and let me know if you have any questions. Stay healthy, stay safe, focus on what's important. Thanks.